Hey gameheads, oh boy, is it good to be an iPhone user right now, cause that section of the mobile gaming community has been cooking lately. Ever since the introduction of the iPhone 15, which came with a very clear promise of being able to handle PC games, there have just been a plethora of interesting iOS exclusive games that are just mouth-watering. And to honor that section of the mobile community, I will today be talking about 10 incredible iOS exclusive titles that will make you proud to be an iPhone user.
Time for the main event.
Starting off strongly with Hades Mobile, the incredible popular roguelike has finally made its way to the mobile platform a few months ago. For those who for some reason don't know what Hades actually is, it is a hack and slash roguelike that is heavily influenced by the pantheons of the Greek mythology. It follows Zagreus, prince of the underworld and son of Hades, as he tries to escape his father's domain in order to meet up with his mother. The game is an isometric dungeon crawler with gorgeous graphics, teeming with culture, flashy combat, epic bosses, and lots of deaths. All the things that make roguelike, well, roguelikes. It does a very good job connecting the mechanics with the story, in which parts of the pantheon play an important role. The roguelike genre has a special spot for Hades, and it is super interesting that it found its way to the mobile platform thanks to Netflix. If you have an iOS device and a Netflix subscription, Hades is well and ready for you to try it out. Before we continue, I would like to ask you guys to subscribe. Apparently, it's the only way to make you click that red button. Sorry for my outburst, but just subscribe.
Destruction. As the kingdom falls into chaos.
A few days ago, if you told me that Ironhide had an iOS exclusive title, I definitely would have not believed you. The massive RTS focused company released an RPG style game set in the world of Kingdom Rush by the name Legend of Kingdom Rush, and it looks very good. Still doesn't negate the feeling of betrayal. Surprisingly, it's a roguelike mixed with tabletop turn-based RPG that really does deviate from the real-time tower defense strategy the series is built upon. Honestly, at this point, I'm not even surprised by roguelikes anymore. Everybody is just doing them. You get to recruit heroes from the previous title and with companions, battle enemies across randomly generated nodes and battle a boss at the end. It mixes things up with the addition of random events where you toss a die to weigh your options and luck. Honestly, it gives off D&D vibes, which is very interesting. Yeah, Ironhide has polished the world of Kingdom Rush, and I think it's worth it to see if the quality that we have come to expect is available in this their title. Speeding things up with Horizon Chase 2, the beautiful arcade racer of 2022, a sequel to the very popular game by the same name. It brings more polished graphics with breathtaking scenery and engaging racing action. In short, it's a nice little racing title with one of the most breathtaking cartoon-style graphics I've ever seen out there. That's right, if you're a fan of racing games and have an iPhone, you should definitely check it out.
There is a great horror beneath the manor.
Ramping things up with another roguelike, Darkest Dungeon Tablet Edition, a game set to make Souls-like look like child's play. If that's not a call for masochism, I don't know what is. Recruit, train, and lead a team of flawed heroes through twisted forests, forgotten biomes, ruined crypts, and beyond. You battle not only unimaginable foes, but stress, famine, disease, and the ever-encroaching darkness. That seems quite fun. Uncover strange mysteries and pit the heroes against an array of fearsome monsters with an innovative strategic turn-based combat system. It looks quite fun for people with an acquired taste. So if you have a tablet and you like a good dungeon crawler with a vigorous challenge, you should definitely check it out. And also go and see a doctor, you might be a masochist. Until recent, I didn't know that Samurai Jack Battle Through Time, the game that is said to conclude the events of the Adult Swim adaptation of the immensely popular Cartoon Network show, had come to the mobile screen. You control Jack the Samurai and fight through familiar locations and events in Aku's sinister future that he spent so much of the series trying to prevent. The game features cast from the main series voiced by their original actors with cool-looking combat, colorful graphics, and a much deserved end to the recent release of the Adult Swim show. iPhone users have no idea how lucky they truly are. Samurai Jack Battle Through Time is available for iOS 13 or later on your app stores.
Why did you call your group Mongrels? What do you mean?
Next up is an honestly good-looking real-time tactical game by the name War Mongrels. The trailer presentation is really magnificent, best one I've seen in a while. An isometric strategy title that takes place on the Eastern Front of World War II with really dynamic gameplay that mixes tactical and stealth elements tightly packed into a dark, fascinating story about an eccentric, unlikely team and their story of survival and resilience in a truly brutal time in history. I personally am sold by the concept, and the fact that it recollects real-time events is a very fun bonus. It looks really well made, and all I'm trying to say is that it would be nice if it made its way to my platform.
You can hear the gods whisper around you.
Next up is the game that gave me the very concept of exclusivity in the mobile platform, a sequel to the very interesting award-winning title OCEANHORN 2: Knights of the Lost Realm. Imagine this, you just finished an interesting isometric puzzle-style adventure game with a very rich story, and you managed to stumble across its very much revamped sequel, only to find it an exclusive to something called the Apple Arcade. It was a very difficult experience. Anyway, OCEANHORN 2 takes place 1,000 years before the events of the first game, resculptured with better, flashier 3D graphics in a big explorable open world. You embark on a journey Zelda style that unfolds the mystery of your world and of course the OCEANHORN. I can't emphasize how much I've begged for this game to be ported to the Android circle, but being one of those first true Apple exclusive titles, that may just be a pipe dream. Next up is Death Stranding, a unique adventure title by Hideo Kojima set in a post-apocalyptic United States and follows a courier that travels around the country delivering goods and messages while trying to connect the separated colonies and kind of restore something of a pseudo-internet. People have basically called it a walking simulator, and you will see why when you play it, but it goes deeper with a really convoluted story, a weird and bizarre world filled with monsters from other dimensions that roam around, and rainfall that causes you to age. And did I mention that you also carry a fetus in order to alarm you of the presence of said monsters? It's a really weird game, but quite the interesting and successful one, and one of my inspiration for actually making this video. It's quite demanding though, needing a A17 Bionic or M1 chip to actually play. Next up is Resident Evil Village. Literally one of the biggest selling points of the iPhone 15 was the ability to play this game. Yeah, I remember that it caused quite the stir. At least they pulled it off splendidly. Resident Evil is a port of the 2021 Resident Evil game that follows Ethan Winters, who searches for his kidnapped daughter in a village filled with mutant creatures. The game maintains survival horror elements from the previous game, where players scavenging environments for items and managing resources, while adding more action-oriented gameplay with higher enemy counts and a greater emphasis on combat. In short, it's a banger of Resident Evil title, praised on all platforms. I'm definitely not a horror fan, but it's a very interesting one nonetheless.
A diamond shape on the front of Basim's silver hood conceals his eyes.
We work in the dark.
Let's continue with the all-new, all-impressive Assassin's Creed port on the iOS platform, Assassin's Creed Mirage, the latest installment to the incredible franchise. The series may have its ups and downs in the gaming community, but the fact that we have a full Assassin's Creed game running perfectly on the mobile platform gives me immense joy. The 2023 13th major installment to the franchise is set in the 9th century Baghdad and follows Basim ibn Ishaq. Sorry if I spoiled that. A street thief who joined the Hidden Ones to fight for peace and liberty against the Order of the Ancients. Take Assassin's Creed plotline, but there is said to be a shift in the mechanics, focusing on a more stealth style gameplay that its earlier progenitors were known for. This obviously received a lot of praise, and coupled with the gorgeous graphics and smooth performance, especially on the 15 Pro and the iPad, I think is definitely worth checking out. And with that, my list comes to a satisfying end. Which game are you going to, or would you have tried out if you had an iPhone or an iPad? Let me know in the comment section, and as usual, don't forget to subscribe to help the channel. It's your host Peter, and I'm out.